Hi, I'm Dan Puplet. We're going to have a closer look at observing and appreciating nature close to home. So for a lot of people it can be frustrating not being able to travel far, especially if we enjoy being out and about in nature. But if we stop and take a closer look at some of the nature on our doorsteps, we might find that there's a lot of the even common plants and animals that have a lot more to them than at first meets the eye. So take for example the humble daisy. So this is a really common flower and can even be found on a patch of grass, say in the city. And a lot of people will just walk past them without giving them a second look. But if we're getting closer, we'll see that they're actually really stunning and quite fascinating plants. So first of all, having a look at the daisy a bit closer, at first it appears to be the kind of classic textbook flower, kind of bit in the middle, petals around the outside. But what we're actually looking at with the daisy is a whole cluster of flowers all bunched up together. So let me show you what I mean. We'll take a closer look. Zooming in, we can see that the yellow disc in the centre is actually made up of a lot of smaller circles, and each one of those is actually a flower in its own right, a tiny flower called a floret. The ones towards the edge of the disc are actually opening up, and what appear to be petals, the white bits around the edge, are actually a kind of florets as well. And this is a feature of daisies and also of other members of the daisy family, which is a huge plant family. Daisies are pollinated by a range of insects, including some tiny beetles, flies and bees. And each daisy, each of those yellow discs will produce well over 1,000 seeds. The seeds are really light and are dispersed on the wind, and also spread by birds, by ants. Some of them even pass through the guts of an earthworm, and those that make the journey are more likely to germinate than a seed that hasn't passed through an earthworm's gut. Another feature of daisies are these rosettes of spoon-shaped leaves growing really close to the ground. And daisies tend to be a really low-growing plant anyway, but in areas that are mown or heavily grazed by animals, the local population, through natural selection, will become even more low-growing. The name daisy comes from day's eye because they actually open up when the sun's out, and they'll close at night or when it's really overcast. And one of the benefits of this is that when it's raining, it protects the pollen from getting soaked. And there are even some insects that actually take refuge in the closed flowers. Daisies tend to lean towards the sun and actually follow the path of the sun during the course of a bright day. So looking at a patch of daisies, you can sometimes get a very rough idea of where south is. So next time you see some daisies, be sure to take a closer look.